It's 1956 and it's the big film award night. You're the journalist who's been tasked with getting the perfect photograph of all the famous celebrities. You've got to position yourself and them into the right spot to make that perfect photo, and you're going to do it with your smartphone? That's right. We're going to take a look at Devir Games' Red Carpet. So I wasn't joking. Red Carpet is a game where you're going to be using your smartphone. Now, this is not a new app that you're going to be downloading to use with this game. You're just going to be using your phone's camera. So we're going to have this nice red carpet here, and this actually is like a red felt on here. It is a nice touch to have that on the game. And you're going to have celebrities that are going to move down across this. You've got to put your tripod in the right place to be able to position and get the picture with your smartphone. And you're going to have to avoid all the random entourage members that you don't care about. Next big thing on this are going to be the celebrities. Now, these celebrities, Devir would probably tell you that these celebrities are not based off of actual people, that they're just random celebrities, but gonna show them to you and we're gonna know who they are. This is not Fred Astaire. This is not John Wayne. This is not Audrey Hepburn. This is not Marilyn Monroe. Not Groucho Marx. Not Alfred Hitchcock. Not Humphrey Bogart, and not Elizabeth Taylor. And these last two, a lot of people have been having some trouble figuring out who they are. My best guess on this one is going to be Marlene Dietrich. It does have a little bit of a Katharine Hepburn look, but the hair color is wrong. And this one, I really didn't know. I did some Googling. Looked around at actresses that were popular at the time, which the manual says this is 1956. So Jane Russell is the best that I can figure on this, but I'll show you all the mechanics that we have going on here. Each player is going to have a tripod. We have 4 different colored tripods for 4 different players. And as I demonstrated earlier, phone will kind of work on the tripod like that. There are several decks of cards that will be going on here. We'll go ahead and go through this first deck here because this will be the setup. You shuffle this up good and you're going to put down the 10 celebrities here. These are going to be scoring trackers and also are going to work for the different categories that you can vote on. These are each categories that these celebrities are all up for awards in. Not sure what categories these are, and I don't know what categories would put these celebrities together, but we've got like one category here, which is going to be Jane Russell, John Wayne, and Humphrey Bogart. This one, which would have Groucho, Elizabeth Taylor, and Audrey, and this one, which will have Marlene Dietrich, Fred Astaire, and Marilyn Monroe. And of course, these celebrities all go out randomly onto these, depending on where you put them at. This one up here is the Lifetime Achievement Award, which is being given to Alfred Hitchcock. So that one will get that, which means points scored on Alfred Hitchcock will be double. Additionally, through the game, there's going to be voting. There's going to be places where you can put a card down here to vote for a celebrity, and the celebrity in each category with the most votes will get this token added to them, which will give them double points. If there is a tie in the voting, then they both win and they both get double points. Additionally, we need to go ahead and spread out the sponsors for these celebrities because celebrities all have sponsors. So we're just going to take one of these out and put one of these by each of these actors. You can see that some of these actors share sponsors. And you'll notice that the kind of barriers here for the cordon off area also happen to have these sponsor logos on them, and that these sponsor logos are randomly distributed about these, so that as you place the boards in different positions, the sponsors will move. Now, how do these celebrities come out? Well, I'm going to show you here. They're going to start on this side and they're going to move down to here. As the celebrities go off of this, they go into the awards and they are done. When the entourage goes through them, well then they just get recycled, because we just reuse entourage because no one cares about them. So let me show you how we position these celebrities out here and how we move them. You're going to have 2 celebrities come in at a time. It's going to be based off of these celebrity cards, and they are going to come out randomly. So we are going to see here that we are going to have Marilyn Monroe and Marlene Dietrich come out. We are also going to have 4 entourage members that are going to come along with them, because there's another card that will tell us how to position them, and that is going to be the limousine card right here. As we pull this, we will see it looks like that, and that will tell us where these need to be positioned at and the direction they need to be facing. So we're going to have an entourage member right there facing that way. We're going to have one there facing that way, one there facing that way, one there facing that way, and then celebrity number 1, who is going to be Marilyn Monroe, will go here facing that direction, and Marlene Dietrich, who is the second celebrity, will be sitting right there. And so that is how they initially come out. And as you can see, they all want to move down. So what will happen is these photographer cards, each player will get 5 photographer cards. On your turn, you're going to play 3 different actions. You're going to discard 1 card, and then you're going to use an additional 4th card to vote. For the first 3 cards, you've got 3 different things you can do. You can do any of those. So the first thing you can do is position your tripod, which is this here. You can position it in one of the 2 spaces indicated by that number. So as soon as you decide that you want to place your tripod, you'll play one of the cards and put the tripod in that spot. If you don't place a tripod in a particular turn, you don't get to take a picture. So if you want to take a picture of that celebrity, you need to play that. The next thing you can do is choose to move a figure, and you can move a celebrity or you can move an entourage member. Now you've got 3 different ways that you can do them. The first thing is you can push them 1 space towards the awards, such as I could choose Marilyn Monroe, play that card, and move her over 1 space like that. I can move an entourage member and move them. If you move someone over here and there's someone next to them, you'll end up bumping that one down. So if I was going to move this one here, it would move her and he would go there. It works the same way with the celebrities. If I wanted to move Marlene Dietrich, it would push Marilyn Monroe down. Secondly, you can choose to spin a figure around 180 degrees. I could say I want to rotate Marlene Dietrich 180 just like that. I could do that with Marilyn and spin her that way. I can spin around an entourage member, but it makes them turn around and face a particular side. Third action you can take is going to be call for attention, where you can move 1 figure towards 1 side or the other of the red carpet. But you can only use this one in a row that your tripod is in. So I'm going to show a few different things that can happen here. If we were in a position such as that right there, and let's say you had your tripod sitting right there in that number 3 spot, you could choose to take Marilyn Monroe and push her 1 space that way. Now, whichever spot you're in here, you could call Marilyn Monroe to move the other direction and move her there, which would just have her switch places with that one, and now she's moved 1 space that way. You'd probably want to do that if you had your tripod here, not on the other side. Third thing you can use it for is to vote, and this one's pretty obvious here. The celebrity that's on the bottom is who you are going to vote for. You will, at the end of the round, put a card in there to vote. You can, for one of your other 3 actions, go ahead and choose to vote an additional time instead of doing one of the other 2 actions. So let's go ahead and we're going to go through a little simulated thing here to just kind of push these all down. First I'm going to start with that card there for number 2, just to place my tripod because I want to be able to get a picture. We'll call this one right here player number 1 because we got this little spot. This one here, we can see we've got a lot of number 3 spots that we can move to. Let's go ahead and play that one right there. And player number 2 is going to position in the number 3 spot. So we'll put them right there to get that. Number 4 looks at this and like, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've got a good pick of what one I want to go for here. Because I'm going to try to be sneaky and place my tripod later. I'm going to play this one and spin around a celebrity, and we'll spin around Marlene Dietrich. Back to this guy for his second one, where he's in that spot there. So what he is going to choose to do is to push this one down here and just get them out of the way. So this one here, he is going to push both of the celebrities down one. This one here is going to decide to go ahead and place a tripod in the number 2 position right there. Now this one here being player number 1, he is going to, since he's over there on that side, he's going to spin one of these around, spin her, face her that way to try to set up a good picture. This one is, since they're in their spot there, he's going to try to call attention of Marilyn Monroe and pull her that way. And this one is going to go ahead and use this one here to try to put someone right there. He's going to move that one right there and push Marilyn Monroe over to there. So now that we've got all these here, it's just time to vote, because you're a journalist. You get to vote for these awards here. Now right now, none of these have anybody in here that is helpful. So you're pretty much just kind of throwing things out there. We'll say that he's obviously voting for Humphrey Bogart and discarding that one. Obviously voting for Jane Russell. And this one, he gets to kind of choose, and neither of them are out right now, so he's just gonna go ahead and pick Groucho. Then it's time to get pictures. Now, one thing you will do on the pictures is you will set it to zoom number 2. Some phones you need to go into portrait and do the number 2 because it's gonna have trouble doing it otherwise. This one's just gonna go right there and try to get the picture. It's pretty well set up for Marlene Dietrich. Now Marlene's sponsor is this diamond, which we will see that there's a diamond right there. So I think if we do something like that there, player number 2 is now going to set up, and they're going to have to choose someone to get. They really don't have anyone directly on, but they do have Marilyn Monroe there. Marilyn's sponsor is the diamond, which is also in play. Some taller phones you need to kind of angle down a little bit, and that's allowed if you need to do a little bit of adjustment on it. The only thing you got to do is you got to stay completely, the tripod has to stay completely in your spot. So tripod has to stay in the number 3. We're going to put that right there, and there's Marilyn. Now this one is also going to go for Marilyn. You can also get Marilyn's diamond logo in there, and we'll do that. All right, so now we've got pictures of these. So we're going to take a look at these pictures, and the whole group is going to judge the pictures based off of some criteria. And here are the criteria for each of these. The first one up here is called Looking at You, Kid. You get 3 points if the celebrity is facing you. Close up. You get 2 points if they are in front of everything. There's no one in front of them, obscuring them or partially blocking them. So you need their head and their shoulders and nothing else blocked. The third one is front and center. You get 2 points if they are in the row that your tripod is in. This one here is the entourage. Any entourage whose face is -1 points. You don't want entourage showing up in there. Lastly is going to be the sponsor. If you get their sponsor in there, you get an additional point. So let's look at our 3 pictures. Now this one is Marlene Dietrich looking at you. Yes, it is. That is 3 points. Does she have anyone in front of her blocking her? No. So that's 2 points. We're good there. Was she in the row that the camera was in? Well, in fact, yes, because the camera was there. Marlene was there. That's another 2 points. So we're currently sitting at 7 points. There's no one blocking her, so there's no loss of points. And Marlene's sponsor was the diamond, and the diamond is in the picture. So that is 8 points. So that is a perfect 8 points that purple gets on Marlene Dietrich. We're now going to go to the next one here where they were taking a picture of Marilyn. Now this one was taking Marilyn from an angle there like that. So they do not get the 2 points for her being in a row, but they do have all the other points. She's facing, she's not obscured, there's no entourage showing up in it, and there is a sponsor. So this one, which would be yellow, gets 6 points on Marilyn. And lastly, fortunately, we don't have to worry about things being in focus. Game doesn't care about this. This is going to be another perfect 8 points there for the pink, because we've got all the criteria met. So this will be a perfect 8 on Marilyn, and that is done there. And now we go on to the next round, where we will take this card and we're going to bring out some more celebrities, and we see how this works. Our celebrities are going to be Alfred Hitchcock and Fred Astaire. First of all, we've got an entourage that's going to go to that spot. It's going to push him over, and then him over again, which is going to push all of these down. So we can see that Marilyn is like 1 spot away from going off the board now. We're going to have an entourage facing that direction. We're going to then have another entourage go to this spot. We'll be facing that way, which is going to push Marlene down 1. Celebrity number 1, who is Hitchcock, will go in there facing that direction. We're then going to have another entourage, which will go in facing this direction, which will push that one down 1 and then down again. And then lastly, Fred Astaire goes in facing that direction. And now we will do the whole thing over again, a whole nother round. Your tripods go off of their spots. Those spots are no longer claimed. You have to claim them again. The token is going to go down to the next player. So whoever was player number 2 is now player number 1 this turn. And we'll go ahead and skip to what it could look like here at the end. So we're at the end of the game, and it's time to tally up the scores. So we are going to take all the votes here to start with. So we'll look at each of these categories here of Marlene, Fred, and Marilyn. Marilyn has 2. Fred has 1. Marlene has 2. That is going to be a tie. So Marlene and Marilyn both get double points for this card category here of Groucho, Elizabeth Taylor, and Audrey Hepburn. We see that Audrey Hepburn is winning with 2 there, so Audrey gets a double token. So in this last one here of Humphrey Bogart, John Wayne, and Jane Russell, we see that Bogart has 3 there, so Humphrey gets double points, which nobody was on him, but that's the way it goes there sometimes. So now you're going to add up the points for everyone. So we see that our score there was 45, 20, and 28. So purple has won rather handedly with 45 points. And that is basically what's going on with this game. It's a really unique game that lets you use something that everyone has in their pocket. So if you found this video useful, you can give it a thumbs up and a like. You can go down into the comments section and let me know what you think down there. And you can also subscribe to my channel to make sure you catch everything that I post so you don't miss anything. This is Jeremy with Point Extra G, and we'll see you around next time.